Hey, welcome back. Today we are taking a look at the incredible book box by Constantin. This is a really interesting looking puzzle. We've got to try and open it up. There's some very intricate and moving parts on the front here. Around the outside, there's this kind of brass look detailing, and on the back, this red velvet, which gives it this really premium and kind of classy look, I think. This one, a very interesting looking puzzle box that I think will make a great display piece, especially amongst some other books and stuff on a shelf. First up, going to take a look at a bit more of the detail on the box and a review of it, and then get into the solution for it, which is actually quite tricky. There's probably 6 or 7 moves, or it's quite hard to say, to open this box, and finding them is not easy, especially if you're new to puzzles. So let's take a closer look. So pretty much all the action on this puzzle box is on the front here. This is where all the parts are. You can see around the outside we've got this kind of brass detailing where the pages would be, which reflects really nicely with the light, and the red velvet on the back here, but there doesn't seem to be any moving parts that I can find on the back here, all these parts. So all the action on the front here, we've got these details which seem to be locked in place. This flower over here rotates a little bit, and it does seem there's a little bit of a play in the lid here, so it does seem like that's where it's going to open. But this one doesn't seem to move enough to actually do anything. Then we've got these 6 pieces around the outside which rotate pretty freely, clockwise and anti-clockwise, and also slide between the different positions that they can be in. So it seems like there's potentially 3 different positions that these can lock into. The central piece here also moves freely, clockwise and anti-clockwise. There doesn't seem to be any friction there or anything that can actually lead to the next step. So pretty interesting puzzle box. Not potentially much in the way of first thoughts as to how this might be solved, but if you want to see the solution, stay tuned and I will show that to you next. So, with a lot of moving parts, the sequence that you do things is really important. And what you'll discover after a bit of playing around with this is that the central disc actually lifts up, and from that point you can move it in 4 directions in this kind of cross. And what the first move that you want to do is move it over towards this piece here, move this disc as far anti-clockwise as you can, and then what will happen is this little flower here locks out and you can't move it much at all from that point. So then move this disc back to the middle, and from there we're now going to go down to the bottom, towards these bottom little moving parts, and these can be in 3 positions. They can be in the bottom, middle or top, and what we need to do is find the position that they can be in order to move this further. So if we have them both at the top, we can rotate the disc a little bit more, and then it's just a case of finding the next position in order to keep rotating it anti-clockwise. So now it's kind of locked out, but if we move these into this one at the bottom, this one in the middle, we can move it a little bit further. Both at the bottom, nope, locked out, both at the top. With that one in the middle, that one at the top, and then both at the bottom gives us the further move. You'll then find that there's no further possible moves you can make with this dial and these pieces. So at that point, we're going to slide it and move it over to the left. And now it's just a case of doing the same process, finding the point at which you're able to slide it a little bit further. So the first move with both of them here to the far left, and then you can just slide the pieces up and down, and both of them in the middle. And if you keep a little bit of pressure on it as you do it, that will allow you to discover the moves as you're just moving the sliders from left to right. So it feels like we've possibly made all the, oh, one final discovery, and another one. So it feels like that's all the moves now made over on the left hand side. So we're going to now bring it up and to the top. And again, same process again. So once you have kind of uncovered this secret to the box, then obviously it becomes a lot simpler because you're just really just repeating the same steps on each side in order to uncover the next sequence. So can't remember exactly how many steps are on either side, so I think we've had 4 so far on the bottom and the left, and I think that's the 4th one there. Just double check. Yep. So at this point we're going to bring it right over to this side, And if we rotate this all anti-clockwise again, then the flower is moving freely. And from there, we just need to find a position that will allow us to open this book up. So feel it's locking a bit there, and the puzzle box is open. And in fact, this whole lid will come completely off. You can kind of see some of the detail here. So as we move the flower, you can see a piece here rotating around, and we obviously need to get to the position where it's flush here, and it'll allow us to open it. And you can see the flowers here that we were moving. You can't see the internal mechanism clearly, but to lock it back up, it's just a case of doing everything back in reverse. That is the Constantin book puzzle box and solution. A really interesting puzzle, this one. Definitely a lot harder than the other book style puzzle box I've tried before. I reckon 2 or 3 hours would be a really good solution time if you're trying this afresh. If you do want to check it out, I'll leave a link down in the description below. But that's it for today's video. If you want to see some more puzzling videos, then why not check out this one over here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.